it's funny, even like my stage name, so like Pretty Papes, it comes from like when I was younger. I mean, like I had a hard time like remember when we were talking about earlier, like initiating, like being the person who chases. Usually I get chose or something like that, somebody trying to talk to me or something like that. But like I was very like self-esteem issues, didn't want to talk. I was a popular guy, but I was only popular because I was a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like popular for the wrong reasons, you know, popular for like I build myself up by putting others down, you know what I'm saying? Like roast somebody or some shit like that. But like it was an alter ego of mine to make myself like confident. It's like, oh, I don't want to be Mike. I'd rather be Pretty Papes because he's like best looking rapper on earth. He's like got all, you know what I'm saying? He's super, you know, secure with himself, this, that. And it's like, it was the complete it was like the person I wanted to be. It was not who I was.
Hey guys, welcome back to Guys That Listen. I'm Peter. Mario's off on vacation today, but we have a very special guest, our homie, Mike.
What's good, y'all? I'm Mike, also known as Pretty Papes. I'm a hip hop artist, community leader, entrepreneur, and just, you know, all around just nice guy. I just try to bring positive vibes, you know what I'm saying?
Damn, dude, you do a lot.
I try to do it all, but like, it's funny, like what we was talking about, like offset. Like I'm a damn busybody, bro. I mean, I just be, you know, I'm a Capricorn, bro. So I be getting like,
what's it with the Capricorns?
We just always like want to do something. It's always like and it's like, I don't know. I've been told I give like dad energy. That I always just want to like, I just want to like be busy doing something or like productive or things like that. But then, like we was talking about offset, sometimes it's counterproductive.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
Did you grow up like that? Or?
I mean, I grew up in a Filipino household. So like I was always doing like, you know, chores or playing sports or, you know, if you're not doing good in like your schoolwork, you busy, you know what I mean? Like we kept busy just in general. Like my whole family always kept busy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn. Where'd you grow up?
Laguna Niguel, like South County, Orange County.
Oh, shit. Yeah. That's different.
Like a white neighborhood. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's actually interesting.
I definitely felt like I kind of, I mean, I definitely have like friends that I still hang on to. Like there was like it was diverse in some ways, but like I definitely feel like a sense of like I didn't really belong. You know what I'm saying? Really? Like, yeah, I felt like I kind of like stuck out a little bit. You know what I mean?
Did you go to high school there too? Like,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Damn.
Went to Elisa Niguel, and then actually, oddly enough, bro, like my elementary years, I spent it in Utah, which is random as hell.
Utah? What part of Utah?
My dad got a job out there.
Oh, shit.
And it was like all Mormons and shit. And like
where Salt Lake?
Sandy. It was like a suburb of Salt Lake.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. What was that like? Did you realize that it was extremely different? Because, I mean, again, this is just my own like, biases and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, Laguna Niguel, like, feels like a very, you know, white place to me, right? And then you go to Utah, which also kind of feels like that too.
Yes.
Was there a stark difference other than the Mormons?
I would say it's funny because I mean I was so young in those days that now I'm like getting some core memories here. Like
really?
I was so young in those days that I feel like I didn't even know that I looked different. You know what I'm saying? Because I was there for like from kindergarten to like 5th grade, and like those are the times where you're like, you know, like I knew I was Filipino. I knew my family was Filipino, but I really didn't even know I looked different until I think it was like 3rd or 4th grade. I was like playing basketball and like they're picking teams. And then someone just said, I picked the darkie. And I remember that's like a core memory. I totally fucking forgot about that. But now I'm like, holy shit, like I totally remember that. Like, and that's kind of when I realized I was like, oh, like I look different, huh?
Do you remember how you felt during that time?
I was just like, who, me? I was like, okay, like I don't think I like felt offended. I don't think I felt like pissed off or anything. I was just like, oh, that's me. You know what I mean? It was like a real like, because I don't know, when you're a kid, like when you're that young, like you don't really, you know, a lot of this stuff doesn't really like register. Like, oh, like I'm different than these other kids, or I'm, you know, and I don't think they like treated me super differently like that. Like I don't think I was treated like poorly or anything. It's just like, it's kind of like a wake up call. You're like, oh, like I'm not exactly like y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you look at other people, you're just like the people around you. You just kind of assume that you're just like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's interesting because like for me, my experience was definitely different. I grew up in Santa Ana, and I remember my first experience that people are a little different. And I think I was like 5 years old, and we were at this park down the street. It's called John Adams Park, and me and my cousin were playing like in the park, and these kids came up. They were Mexican kids, and they were like, "Oh, what's up, chinitos?" And at first, like I didn't really. I was like what? I kind of put it together like Chinese. And I'm not Chinese, by the way, but to every Mexican person, I am Chinese. I'm Vietnamese.
Okay.
So I just kind of like, oh, okay, they just are just calling me Chinese, like even though I didn't know that's exactly what it meant. But then they had approached us and like approached us very aggressively, and funny enough, me and my cousin were making like toy swords out of like these, basically the frames of windows that we took, and then we just like hammered it down. So when they came at us, they actually came at us.
Yeah.
And like we swatted them away with like these metal toy swords.
You guys were sword fighting with it?
Yeah. When we were kids. So like even prior to me actually going to like kindergarten or something like that, I already had an idea that I was like different due to that experience.
I mean, you felt different, but did you feel like you still felt like you belong, or you felt like it was like you felt a little out of place?
I think I definitely felt out of place, but I didn't understand that it was more in those kids' households where that Mexican culture is more prevalent.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't the kids themselves.
It wasn't the kids themselves. I didn't feel like, oh shit, this is how Mexican kids are. You know what I mean? I feel like, oh, those specific Mexican kids were like that. So I grew up with a lot of Mexican friends. I never thought any differently, but I also understood that our culture is very different as far as, I mean, even though we're both like minorities, but it's different when you're a minority in a minority like society. You know what I mean? Like over here, it's predominantly like Latino. Right? So like for me, it was like, oh shit, I always stood out as an Asian kid because there was. So I grew up with a bunch of all Latinos. You know what I mean?
People probably just assumed that you were like Latino, but you just had like you had like the chino eyes.
Exactly. And then you grow up with like a lot of good friends who they prove you right to where it's like, oh yeah, it's not all kids, but it does leave an impression on you because that was the first time I ever really, because when they called me Chino or Chinito or whatever, it's like I never saw it as like a color thing. Yeah. It was like a eyes thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was a feature. It was a physical feature. So I never understood that. And, even after that, I was still trying. It took me a while. I think I didn't really register like when people talked about skin color until I was like probably I think around 3rd or 4th grade. Because I remember, I forgot who I heard it from, but they're like, oh, the black kids. And I was like, I would look around like, where? What black kids? Yeah. Because the black kids weren't black. You know what I mean? They're like dark brown. You know what I mean? I was looking for like night time.
Yeah, like black people. Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? So I didn't understand that. And then, like when they were like, oh, you're yellow. I was like,
am I?
Like, what are you talking about?
Even like, hearing like the darky thing for me, I was like, wait, am I darker than you? Like, I was like, I thought I was just like tan kind of, but
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, like I'm dark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you, since after Utah, since they didn't treat you any different, was there a time when you grew up in middle school or high school or even after that you did feel like that was the case?
I don't think, like the thing is like, it's the same thing that you were saying. It's like, I don't think it was like the kids themselves, but it's like, I guess like what they were brought up in, like their households, things like that. I didn't really experience much like blatant like racism per se. Cause like, but like, if I think back, like, I don't know, like my high school, it was very like, it felt kind of like segregated a little bit. But then I was like, I don't know, I was, honestly, I'll be honest, I got a good personality. I was a popular kid. I was a popular guy. So like, I mean, I had friends in like all different groups, but I remember like, the basketball players, like all the black kids. I was friends with a lot of like Latino kids. And I mean, even one of my main producers, like Los Wave, Latino dude. And I remember like, his whole lunch table was like all like the Latinos.
Oh, he went to school with you?
Yeah. I went to high school with him, and then my other, two of my producers actually. I went to high school with my brother Chasen, and then he's black, and then like all his like basketball homies and just etc. Like they would all hang out somewhere, and then I had friends that were like in like the water polo team, and this is all just like white boys, and they would like party hard. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, interesting. I kind of like jumped from group to group as far as like people I would hang out with. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then even like some of my best friends growing up, they were Middle Eastern, so it's like there was like a diversity, but then it's like they would all kind of see each other, but then like core friends, people would kind of still like. It's something I noticed later in life that they would kind of still like stick to their own, and I don't think that's like on purpose. I think that's just like a comfortable thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I didn't really have that many Filipino friends in high school, man.
Wow.
No, yeah, I mean, like, I remember. I remember them not because like all like the Asian kids, they were all like part of this shit called dance appreciation.
What's that?
Dude, when I was in high school, it was like 2009, so that's like America's Best Dance Crew times. Like Jabberwockies was all popping and shit. And like I used to pop and lock at like the school dances. I would like battle people and shit, and use it to friggin' try to talk to girls. The shit did not work. But like I remember like them not really wanting me in there. I remember wanting to be in their group, and then like them like not wanting me in their group. That was kind of like a weird thing. That's like I didn't really know where to go. So I had like my 2 or 3 best friends, but then they're all from like, I feel like all my best friends were from like different like pockets of groups. You know what I'm saying? So like I had my core group that I'd hang with, but like they would all like also have other groups and shit too. So
you weren't accepted into the Asian group?
I was not accepted into the Asian group. And like, bro, low key, like,
was there like a GPA requirement or something?
I don't know. I think I was too, bro. I mean, honestly, in high school, I was a bully too. I was a little bit I was a little bit of an asshole too.
Oh shit, really?
So like,
is that something in hindsight, or did you know that?
That's something in hindsight. I feel like I didn't realize it. I mean, even in middle school, I was more like middle school. I got in a lot of fights, bro. I think I got in like 4 fights within like 2 years. Just anger problems, bro. Because like Filipinos, we're super nice. I don't know if you know like Filipinos, but we're like friendly as hell.
Yeah.
But like so friendly that we will just like let shit build up, and then like somebody who's gonna make us explode will like. I don't know if you ever seen like. I don't know if you ever seen the rage of a Filipino woman.
I mean, I have.
That shit is different. Their eyes go like this. And then like they put, you know what I mean? So I feel like
I've seen that one time, and it was because like some really bad shit happened with one of my friends who's Filipino and his Filipino girlfriend who was also my friend at the time. Yeah. And she's a small Filipino one, and she flipped the switch, and I was like, holy shit. I never thought I'd be so scared of such a small person.
Dude. It's like a rage though. I don't know, because I feel like we are like, taught to be polite, taught to be friendly. We're like natural hosts of people. We like hosting parties. We like having people over, making sure everybody feels welcome. Like that's a part of our culture. But I feel like sometimes that causes us to like bottle our feelings in, and then if somebody just like pokes the bear a little bit, all of a sudden you're like, so that was definitely something like I didn't even figure out to tame to like later in life. I mean, we're talking like mid-20s type shit, man.
Really? Yeah. Damn. Was there a time when you were growing up that you witnessed that? Was it like from your parents, like mom, dad, or aunts?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's funny because like I even talk about like, I mean, my parents are still married. Amazing. They're like actually like my biggest supporters ever. Oh, awesome. But I remember growing up though too, like I feel like whenever they would argue, like either one of them would explode, either my dad or my mom. But other than that, it's not like they're like they're not bickering back and forth through the house. They're not like, because most people will like, if something happens, they'll say it right off top, or they'll say it right off top. Like for us, and I even experienced this in my own like relationship. But like, like you just letting it slide, and then all of a sudden like here comes the fucking volcano. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I feel like anytime they had an argument, it was like screaming match type shit. Or like dad fucking throws some shit. Like he would just get at it. He wouldn't hit nobody. He'd get angry, just break shit. And I feel like now, like even in my relationships, like I kind of would do the same thing where it's like I'll just let some shit slide, or it's okay, and then all of a sudden something pisses me off, and then I'm like raging. I'm like saying all the things that I was holding back from before. I'm like bringing up shit from like a year ago or something like that, and they're like, I didn't even know you were mad about that. You know what I mean? So it's like it's an interesting coping mechanism where we kind of let it bottle up and then blow, and then bottle up and then blow. Something I'm trying to break though. That's I was talking about the meditation thing. I was like, and communication. I'm trying to be a better communicator.
Yeah, no, I feel you, because I was kind of like that too when I was in one of my past relationships. Everyone used to be like, Peter's fucking insane, right? And that was because I would explode, and until then I seemed like the most like level-headed person. Yeah. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere I'm fucking like smashing TVs and just like things now that I look back in hindsight I could probably save some money on not doing, Yeah. But yeah, I've definitely gone to a point in my life now where that doesn't really happen as much. Like at the most,
you just yell into a pillow.
Yeah. I think now it's like now it went from like breaking shit to just like yelling, and it actually takes me a lot to get to the yelling point. Yeah. But what gets me to the yelling point is when the other person points out like to tell me not to yell.
Yeah.
When I'm not already yelling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like the other person's like, "Hey, can you not raise your voice?" I'm like, "I'm not raising my voice. I'm just talking to you like normal. You want to see me raise my voice? I'm about to raise my voice." Yeah, exactly. You know, that's what triggers me.
That is the egg on. That
is.
Yeah. No, or it's like for me, the trigger is like if I'm like starting to raise my voice. And then their voice raises, because then it's like a match. So I'm like, you're not about to be louder than me, bro. Like, hold on. And it's like, it just like, it just goes up, bro.
So you said you've been dealing this for a while. When was the first time you noticed it?
Probably. So like, going through a separation this year. I was married. Still married actually, but separated in like March, right? And then I feel like it's weird, you know, like. I feel like you go through like that honeymoon phase. I don't know if you've ever been married, but I feel like once we got married, it was like, you know, you set like these certain expectations, etc. And then like I felt myself getting angry easier, more. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
So like a lot of like what happened between us had to just do with like my inability to control my emotions. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
And it was tough, bro. Like I kind of had to check myself, like, okay, like this is really not a healthy thing. Like even like I'm just thinking like health problems too. Like I could feel like my damn heart pumping fast. So I could feel like my freaking veins popping through my head and my fucking neck. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because like a lot of people that are, you know, that I like do business with, a lot of people that know me as Pretty Papes, etc. Like they wouldn't really ever see me as like an angry person. Like most of those people never even see me mad.
Yeah.
Like, okay, even like, it's funny, I had rehearsal last night for that House of Blues show, and like, I was just anxious just because there was like, I thought we was just going to rehearse, but we ended up having to do like a bunch of different like press things and all this other stuff, and I just came to like get down and rap, and I was like, you could kind of feel like my energy was like, I was like, bro, like I'm antsy as hell, and even people then were like, yo, I've never seen you like this. I'm like, it's like, well, that's weird as fuck that you never see me like this. You know what I mean? Like I was like, but like, maybe, you know, I feel like for me, I'm so used to like putting this like game face on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Putting this like, you know, as an artist, you always want to like, you want to be yourself, but then like when you're doing your music, you are living like a persona. You know what I'm saying? And then you're not really like, right now you're talking to Mike, and it's like, but you're not. If this was like a Pretty Pape interview, I'm like, oh yeah, man, what up, y'all? Like, oh yeah, it would be giggling, but like it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's like two different. It's like two different personalities almost. You know what I'm saying? Like they're both. It's both you, but like, you know, you turn it on.
It's crazy. I mean, I noticed that you said. I mean, it sucks to hear about the separation. To me, I feel like that's never good news.
No.
Right?
No.
But I mean, you seem fine. You seem like you're doing all right.
The thing is, it's like I was fucked up about it when it first happened. I mean, like for real, like I was feeling really fucking depressed, bro. And like I would just I would go to the studio and I would just like fucking like stay there. I would like almost like stay there overnight. Be there for like, you know, we'd be there. I'd get there like fucking producer trying to kick me out. My boy Bula trying to kick me out. I get there at 6 and then like not trying to leave till like fucking 5 in the morning or some shit. It's like, dog, we've been in a session for like 11 hours. Like, are you done? Like I was just kind of like burying myself in like my craft and like the things that I wanted to do. I was drinking. I mean, right now I'm on a 30-day cleanse, but I was fucking drinking a lot, smoking a lot, other fucking drugs and shit too. Like just partying, trying to like numb through it, and then trying to like act like, oh dude, I'm so happy, I'm fucking single again, blah blah. I'm like, what's up, boys night or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to like act like I'm trying to turn up, or I'm trying to act like, but I was definitely like shit. A solid like 3-4 months where I was just like sad, but then only like my real close ones really knew that I was like sad like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was still putting that like
facade, huh?
that game face on, man, where you're just like, oh man, I can't let them see me, because like, I don't know, as men we're like we're taught to like it's weak, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a sign of weakness, and so like you want to stay strong and you just want to be up. But I mean, I feel like certain people could kind of tell it's like, dude, like, because because I party, but I don't even party like that. And I was just like, it's kind of going off a little bit. But like, I don't know, through that though, like I got so much closer to all like my friends and like people that I collaborate with. So it's like, you always kind of have to be like, my dad told me, he's like, you have to be like grateful for the bad times. You got to be grateful for the good times, because they always lead into each other. You're never going to have it all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so I felt like, even though like, and it was a mutual separation when we broke up. Like we're still friends. We still like talking shit. But like when that happened, I also realized like how not that close I was to my friends as I thought I was. You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit. I was like, I didn't realize that I was like kind of neglecting y'all too. You know what I'm saying? Because then I started hearing about their problems and what they going through, and I'm like, oh shit. Like I would have never fucking known. You know what I'm saying? So it was a blessing and a curse, bro.
How long were you guys married for?
We were married for 2 years and together for like 7.
I remember you said that like when you guys got married, you noticed that you would get more upset.
I feel like my temper would be a little bit higher. I feel like there was more pressure to like, okay, now there was like for me there was this internal pressure of like, now you're gonna have like a family to provide for. Now you're gonna have a wife to provide for. Now it's like, because before I would be making music and it's just like having fun, being free and all that, and it kind of like put the pressure on it, like, oh shit, I gotta make this shit work or else like she's gonna leave. You know what I mean? The future life that I wanted is like, it was a lot higher pressure rather than me just living. You know what I'm saying? And then when we got married during COVID too. So it's like, I married during COVID, and like we're not really hanging out with other friends. We're just like married, and it's just us two. There's nothing to like bounce off. And like I feel like even when we were first dating, it's like the like, how do you say it, like the format of hanging out was like, her friends, my friends, her friends, we're in groups doing couple shit. Like, I mean, we would do like dates on our own too, but a lot of the time we're meeting up in groups. So now it's just like, oh shit, we're married, and it's just us two every single day. It's COVID. We can't fucking leave the house. We can't do nothing. And it's like, yeah, bro, it's definitely like it was a difficult dynamic to be like, to start with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's interesting, because I do feel that there are couples who need like their own space to do things, and whether it's like your friends or her friends, that's like a different dynamic that you guys had, and it worked like that. But then you put yourself in this situation where you can't see anyone but each other. Then everything changes, right?
Yeah, no, it's a completely different. It's a different dynamic.
And like from when you guys got married in COVID to now, it's been what, like almost 3 years, basically.
Yeah.
Was there any situations or any times that you could tell like, oh, things are kind of changing, and it's not changing in a way that I would like?
Yeah, I mean, well, like shit, I'll be like 100% honest too, like, because I don't got shit to hide, but like for me, like I definitely ended up getting like feeling a sense of like boredom. So, and then a sense of just me and her the whole time. So I was like talking to other girls in my DMs and shit, like being like doing not trustworthy type shit. Like I wasn't linking up with nobody, but it was like just doing sketchy shit, like being the guy who's just dropping a fucking fire emoji, and I'm like, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, but before, when we were together, before we were married, like I wasn't even thinking about doing that shit. I wasn't even like lusting after anybody else. But then once we got married, I was like, I don't know, it's weird. Like when you get married, you have like this FOMO all of a sudden. You're like, oh fuck, like it's like you're like on the other side of like a glass wall or something like that, and you can't fucking
you're not part of the group anymore.
You're not part of the crew anymore. You can't go, like, I don't know, bro. And I feel like it's all mental though too. You know what I mean?
That's so interesting. I never, so my stance on marriage is like, I personally don't want to get married, right? Like I don't really care for it. I think that you could be committed to a person without having to do that.
Yeah.
I just don't really care about the government being in my business, right? Like that's my main thing. But I always just thought that people who get married it's just the same thing now that you just have a piece of paper. But there sounds like there is like different kind of pressure that you feel, because now that you mention it, I noticed that I do treat my married friends a little different. And you're saying you feel that from the other side of the class?
A little bit. Like so I can't come do certain things. I mean, like it's not like I wasn't invited or like that. I'm a good fucking time, but like It was no, it was like that, but like it's like that you all of a sudden get that FOMO feeling, even though like you know when I was on motherfucking Boys to Men reference on Bended Knee, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, oh, like this is who I fucking want, you know what I'm saying? This is I don't see myself with nobody else. And then even on wedding day, you're like, oh yeah, like I really am locked in. I fucking love this person so much. Yeah. And then like, you know, some months go along, like that's the funny part for me. It's like it didn't even take long for me to get that FOMO, and that's when I realized like, wow, like I'm really fucking immature, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm a fucking kid. Yeah. I mean, I was like, bro, I'm married to this girl, and I'm a fucking kid, bro. Like that's the thing, dog.
That's interesting. I mean, at least you realized it, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't get to as far as doing something, because I do see that too. As soon as my friends get married, I'm always like, oh, you know, like the shit that we say as guys to other guys, like maybe we shouldn't say that in front of him because he's married and he's expected to have a higher level of like, maturity.
When really he's the same guy.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's the same guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because around my married friends, I don't really like say like the dumb shit that I say around my single friends, or not even single friends, but my friends who are not married.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird. And it's not like we talked about it. It just ends up being like that.
Yeah. You know, like married to, like you start kind of like, you start living like vicariously through your single friends. You like, yo, so what? Who's the little shorty you talk to? He's like, oh man, it's like you was getting this weekend? Fuck yeah, bro, that's fucking dope. Like, how was it? You try to ask for details and shit, because like, you know, and then it's not like, you know, it's not like I don't got something at home and I don't have something great too. Like, it's just like FOMO.
Yeah, it's true.
You get this fucking weird FOMO. I don't know, it's fucking weird, bro.
Yeah, I'm curious why that is, because I do have. Well, he's no longer married, so it's a little different now. But I had a friend who was married, and whenever I go somewhere with him, I'm not really the guy to. I'm not out there to like get girls most of the time. You know, like if I end up in a relationship, most of my relationships are very long and like monogamous, right? Like 10 years, 4 years, like they're fucking long. So I don't really have a chance to really go out and date, and most of these relationships they're cultivated through like a friendship. Like we'll hang out and then like it becomes a little bit more than friends, stuff like that. So I'm not one to let's go to the club and like let's find some bitches. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like
you're not like hunting for hoes or nothing like that.
No, like never basically.
Good for you.
It's a different lifestyle for sure. Yeah. You know, we have people like Mario who's always on the hunt.
And
then you have people like me who's like a little lower than that. You know, we like different things. I like staying low. He's like more like, oh, let me go out and get that.
Yeah.
But I would notice that my buddy would always tell me like, oh, that girl's looking at you. Let's go. You know, you should go talk to her. You know, I'm just like, damn. It sounds like to me that you want to talk to her more than I want to talk to her. You know what I mean? But you're pushing me to do it so that you can live vicariously through me.
Yes, yeah. Well, because he was like married, right? So he was married, or he was just had a girl, and he's just like telling you, he's like, "Yo, go talk to her, so I can watch you talk to her, and pretend like I'm you."
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic too, because like I remember, because I mean even before I met her, like I was literally like, this was also like my first long-term relationship ever. I had never had a relationship that lasted more than like 3 months.
Oh wow.
Of like dating, like, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm just like either like over it, bored, or I just like think their conversation is just lame, because I went out with that intention of hunting. You know what I'm saying? And then you get it, and then you're like, this bores me. You know what I'm saying? It's and not really like knowing how to like develop that connection. But then she was like the first person I was able to, because we started off as friends too, so it's like she was the first person I developed like that real connection with. And then I was like, okay, like this is what this is like. And then I remember being single, and like I would just be like longing for like partnership. And then once you're in partnership, you're like, oh damn, it was so dope to be single. Like it's the grass is always fucking greener, bro. It's a weird thing. But now I'm like in a space where I'm like, I'm okay being alone. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of that also stemmed from just don't want to be alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like now now that I am alone, I'm really like enjoying my loneliness. I don't know, like I don't know. I'm in a wave where it's like it's fun to like be able to like spend the time with yourself, find yourself, do whatever the fuck you want with your time. So like right now I'm like in that space, and it's been cool.
That's dope. I'm kind of on the same boat. Like I've been single now for 2 years, and after pretty much all my long-term relationships, I'm usually single for a while. Yeah, like 2 or 3 years. You know.
Okay.
That's just what I do.
You take like a gap. You take like a single gap, and then it's like a long-term relationship. And like a single gap.
Okay. It's not like I'm looking for. Usually, it's never when I'm looking for a long-term relationship that I end up in one. But it's just funny because I've been listening to a lot of like different podcasts, and they're saying like, oh, people are not dating as much, blah blah blah. And one of my buddies, he knows that I don't. Right now, I'm not looking for anything, nor do I have anyone that's piqued my interest, right? But he mentioned to me, because he's more of a chronic dater than I am. He out of a relationship, he's back in another relationship like a month from now. You know what I mean?
I got friends like that too.
Yeah. And he's very good at keeping it down low too. So I'm like, he's like, yeah, me and my girlfriend just broke up. I'm like, you had a girlfriend? Like, what the heck? You know what I mean? I'm like, which one was it?
Yeah.
You know? But he was just telling me something that kind of made me think differently, because a lot of my friends view me as like, oh, he's kind of cynical. Like, that's why he's like, he's in that space where he's cynical. He doesn't want to date people. And he was saying like, oh, you just don't allow yourself to be happy. Like, you don't want yourself to be happy. I'm like, no, actually, I feel very, very happy.
It's like, I want to keep being happy.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I don't know. Like, what makes them say it's like cynical to be like,
I think it's his own perception.
Yeah.
Is that like, oh, he enjoys being in relationships. So therefore, maybe he thinks I should be the same way. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's also, the same thing with the married couple who are like, oh, why are you single? You know what I mean? Like, why are you not married?
Yeah.
It's because they're like, oh, this is what we have. How come you don't want it too? We're happy.
Yeah.
So therefore, we're going to impose our beliefs onto you.
That's real shit. Because they're like, because they want you to have this feeling that they have so bad, even though like, you've had that feeling. You're just not like, you're not out seeking it. And it's not like it's not coming for you. It's just like, you would rather it come organically, or rather just come from a real place, rather than like you're seeking it so hard that you make a rash decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also it makes me question, because sometimes I do feel like maybe I'm playing it too safe, because I'm just always having these organic relationships where like it just unfolds, right? And I'm also a firm believer in not having life give you everything. You know what I mean? I think you should go and chase after.
So were you in these like relationships? Were you the one who was like the initiator, or was it just like kind of initiated, or it was just a friendship first and then like? Because I know how that feels too, where it's like, like there was times too, like even when I was like younger, where it's like I was very scared to be like the first one to like choose someone. Instead, you just get chosen. You know what I mean? You get chosen, and then you build a connection. You're like, oh, like this person's dope as fuck. I'm so happy you chose me. But then like you kind of want to be like the one who's chasing too. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's true. I think that's just especially nowadays, like women have so many options. Like they're gonna get chased, and it's rare that they're gonna pursue you, right?
And it's rare you're gonna talk to a girl who doesn't have like a few on the roster. You just you want a team. Yeah. You made a team. You might be the starter. You might not.
Yeah, might not be on varsity.
Yeah, you might.
But no, I do feel you. I think because I like to really analyze like how I am as a person now, like deeper than how I did when I was younger. And I'm wondering if it is a case of either fear of rejection, right? Because it's like what you were saying. A lot of these relationships that end in, it's not so much like they'll initiate, but in a way where it's like it's telling me like it's okay to push this further. You know what I mean?
They're giving you permission.
Yeah, I think prior I was always so worried about like, am I going too far? What if I make them feel uncomfortable? I think that's always in my personality, where it's like I don't like to push people to make them feel uncomfortable. So therefore, I'm gonna let them tell me if it's okay.
Yeah, I feel like that comes from our culture though too.
You think
like,
so?
I feel like Asian culture, we don't like people to feel like we just do anything possible to feel like make people feel comfortable. Like you ever been to like an Asian household and like the person's mom, they grabbing like everything out the fucking pantry. They making you a tea. They're like, okay, get you anything else? Like, oh, they're moving the ottoman for your feet and all this stuff. And it's you just really want people to like be comfortable before you make like that move. And you kind of, I feel like I'm the same way though too. Like I don't want to make somebody feel uncomfortable, get the wrong idea, just because like. For me too, like I appreciate people as people. Like whether I'm attracted to them or not, it's like I just appreciate this person as a person. Yeah. And I wouldn't want to fuck up like like a possible like friendship or being friends with you, because like by being like too forward. But then at the same time, it's like sometimes if you want something, you do have to be forward about it.
That's also very true.
Yeah.
I think I haven't met a person that's like that. I talked about this with my cousin off camera earlier. I was talking about how as a guy, we're more notorious to think with a different kind of head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've seen that through the years of having big groups of friends where I'm like, damn, like, I knew you guys weren't going to last.
Yeah.
And you guys just fucked up this, like, circles dynamic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, was it really worth it to you?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to be so impulsive? And just think, like, yo, yeah, it seems nice right now. You have a crush or whatever the hell, but, like, think about the long-term dynamics of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, now, I have certain friends that they won't even hang out with the group if the other person is there.
Because like they've already had history.
They've already had history.
But I'll tell you the other side of that coin. So I have friends too that are like, have like certain girls and like their friends. I'm not going to rat you out, bro. I'm not going to rat, but
ain't no snitches here.
So like the friend I'm talking about, like he has this girl that's like been in the same friends group for a while, and he didn't want to fuck up that dynamic or whatever, but like they always like clicked. And then now she's got somebody who's like, parents looking like they're gonna get married and this, that, and now he's sitting back wondering, what if? You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's the other side of that too, where you're like, it sucks because they fucked up the friend dynamic and they couldn't be friends anymore. But like, I feel like if that attraction is there, either way, if somebody doesn't act on it, it's probably not like you might still be friends, but even if you're friends and then they go off with somebody else and you're still like damn, like I should have gone for that. You know what I mean? Like we could have been something too. Who never know? Like I feel like that's what all Drake songs are made about.
Yeah. That's true. I thought you were telling me a Drake story.
Yeah, bro. Like because it's there. Yeah, there is the other side of that of what if. You know what I mean? It's like what if I went for it and then you're like,
you gotta shoot your shot.
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been something. That could have been my freaking soulmate, but I didn't know.
See, that's where maybe I'm like cynical, right? Where you hear the people who say like, "What if?" Oh, the one who got away. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It ends up being the white buffalo or some shit like
exactly.
that. But
and for me though, like I almost never think like that because I'm just the way I see it is like you have one life, right? Whatever decision you make is whatever decision you make. You don't know if that could have been better or not, right?
Yes.
Let's say inversely, they end up dating and then they break up. Then you're like, oh, what if we just stayed friends? There's always going to be a what if on both sides, right?
Yeah.
So you just got to be okay with the decision that you make. And I think that's how I am as a person. It's like, I'm always okay if they find someone else, Like I'm
happy
I'm
for
very
you.
real. Yeah, I'm like happy for you. I'm like very realistic about the situation, And I think some people, they live in the past a lot because that what if is,
that
not
is living in the past.
That isn't living in the past. And to me, I feel like I don't have really enough time to be focused on the past. You know what I mean? Because I used to say this when I was younger because I was like mad manipulative. But I'll say it's like my ex-girlfriend's like, oh yeah, we just found each other at the wrong time, and then I'll put something in their head like, oh yeah, but in the future, once we're more mature, definitely there could be something there, as if there's like a chance.
You trying to leave the door open,
you know what I mean?
just in case, like that's a man play right there. So you try to leave the door open just in case I gotta hit you up and it's late.
Exactly. But now being older, I'm like, man, that's terrible because it does really fuck with people's heads when you do that. You don't realize like how negative that is for people. Some people can't move on because they leave that door open,
hold on to that feeling, and then they can't talk to anybody else, so they just feel like anytime they make a new connection, it's like, it's not him though. I'm gonna just wait for him. He coming back. They motherfucker not coming back.
And by the time they realize, they're like, oh shit, he isn't coming back. It's like years down the line, like, damn, I wasted my youth and all these other things, and that's scary.
People get hung up on that. No, that's true though. Like that is a good ass point, that it's like you just live with the decisions you make, and it makes you into, like, it'll make you into a new person anyways. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like we change every day, bro. Like we're not, me from yesterday is not the same me from today. So it's like your current match changes every day too. You know what I mean? Like who's currently like compatible for you, who's best for you, can change within the day. You know what I mean? So it's a trip, bro. It really is.
That's cool. I kind of want to hear about, because to me it sounds like you're saying every day, but I'll just call you Pretty Papes 2.0 right now.
Yeah.
Because there seems to be a different Mike that's like arisen out of this whole depressive, like sad situation. And the Mike in front of me seems like he's a lot better. I'm not saying that you're fully healed at all, but like, he seems like you kind of got it together a little bit.
I feel like I've definitely healed a lot, just because, like, bro, like, this is probably the first, I didn't realize how much I was neglecting myself with being in a relationship, because, like, honestly, like, I mean, dude, I still love her. I love that girl. But I feel like our situation was very codependent, where we were like both like wanting to be with each other so much that we don't want to be with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we don't like, and it's like, what was the real reason behind like me always wanting to, you know, hang out, or her always want to hang out, do things, and like, was it because like you want to like always spend time with this person, or was it because like I don't want to spend time alone, man? Because me alone is fucking scary. And then you know what I'm saying? Like, and then I had that like dark ass period of me just alone for like those first like few months, and then like kind of navigated through it, and I was like, you know, I'm a pretty cool guy to hang out with by myself. Like I was like, you know what I mean? So it's man, I did a shitload of reading, bro. Like I fucking haven't even read since high school, and I just like literally was reading books, audio books, you know, doing the whole fucking self-help thing. Yeah. But like, I mean, like, dude, like those books sell a lot for a reason, bro. It's like it's real shit, man. And yeah, and I got to kind of just like lock in on like my craft. And it's funny too, because like I feel like even in our relationship too, like I would always be like in my head like, oh, like she like holding me back from different shit. And, like she wasn't holding me back, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I would like be like in my head like, oh, like she's, you know, if I had just more time, if I had more time to do this, I had more time to do that, like my music would be going better. If I had more time to do this, I would like be like closer to these other whatever connections. It was like ego, career oriented, like drive, you know what I'm saying? But then like now that I'm like I am alone, I'm alone, I was like, dude, like I manifested this over a long amount of time. Like I was talking about this to myself in my head for a while, and then now it's here. Like, what the fuck you gonna do about it? You just gonna fucking sit here in bed, or you gonna like take advantage of the fact that you alone, but it's also an opportunity to get closer to collaborators, an opportunity to make more music from like a real place, an opportunity to be just, I mean, dog, I feel like what helped me heal was just like going outside, bro. Just going to events, just going meeting new people, just doing things, throwing events with my friends. Like that was like the shit that really like got me through it. I'm like, oh, like now I have a purpose.
Stoked on life.
Yeah, now I have a purpose. Now I feel like people rely on me. You know what I'm saying? Like before, like I was making music, but like I didn't really feel like anybody like relied on me to make these songs. I'm just doing it freely when I have the time, and pushing when I have the time, etc. But now I'm like, okay, like there's people that are like actually like counting on me too, to like be able to do what I do, and it's actually a fucking beautiful thing. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. It adds like value to you as a person, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you're here to kind of serve in a way.
Yes, that's something I realized this year too. Like art, and then even what we're doing in this podcast right now, like this is service industry, bro. We're serving the people that like may be afraid to do this, or may like, you know, or just they got like they're having a hard time, they're having a long day, and like we're like their little shit that they look forward to, their little escape. You know what I'm saying? Like we provide a pretty important service in people's lives, bro.
No, definitely. I actually ran into a friend at the gym earlier today, and he was like, "Oh, I seen your podcast," you know, like he was like, "I kind of want to talk to you." And so he had a conversation, and
did you mic him up?
No, I didn't. We should have actually.
You're like, here's a lavalier.
Hold on. That's the thing. After that, I was like, fuck, man, we should do a podcast in the gym. Be kind of tight, you know, while working out, just like talking. I was like, that'd be kind of dope episode.
Yeah, that's actually that's a good theme.
But actually, I didn't work out at all because we just stood there talking. And I was looking at my time. I was like, fuck, Mike's about to be here soon. Yeah. So I had to dip. Funny. But he was just one of the things that we talked about was he was just like, oh, how are you? You know, and I was like, I haven't been doing that well, but I'm getting better. Mm-hmm. He's like, wow, I appreciate you for being so real with me. Yeah. I was just telling him like before I was so used to going to like autopilot mode where if you asked me how I was doing, I would tell you I'm doing good. Yeah. I'm doing great.
Yeah.
You know, and I slowly switched it because I was like, oh, is that really how I feel, or I'm just saying that? Which I was just saying that. Mm. And I started to have more authentic conversations with people when I was being honest about what was going on. You know, it's actually really
refreshing.
Tiring. Yeah, it is. It's very refreshing, even when it's about a negative thing. Mm-hmm. You know, because it's actually very tiring to act like you're positive all the time. You know, being inauthentic is very tiring.
It's exhausting, bro.
It's very exhausting.
The game face that we were talking about, like that shit is pretty exhausting. Like keep up all the time. Like, I mean, I understand it in certain situations, but like, if it's somebody who you know will understand you if you just say, no, I'm not really doing good, and then they'll probe you, and then shit that you didn't even know you start figuring out the reason why you didn't feel good, like through them, like you didn't even know why you don't feel good, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, like that's why. Thank you for this combo, and then and then the rest of your day is better.
And what's crazy is that these talks about the things that don't make you feel good, it actually gets you closer to the people who ask. You know what I mean? But if you say you're always okay, you're never gonna break past that barrier. You know, like I have friends now that I could talk to about anything, and it's just like you were saying that you didn't realize you were neglecting certain friends until you were in a situation where you had to talk about what was going on with your life, and then you're like, oh shit, you're actually going through things too, and now you feel a little bit closer because you guys could both open up. Yes,
exactly. It's that giving each other. I feel like that's like giving someone the green light too, where you're like, if you don't like hit that little pretend on them, they're like, oh well, then I don't have to do my game face either, and then they're like, and now it's like, oh shit, like that's how we're feeling. That's who you are. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like this year I've gotten closer to so many friends that like I feel like, wow, like I didn't realize some of these relationships were so surface level, and then that shit made me feel fake. I'm like, damn, like I was like, was I being fake by like just putting on the game face or just saying I'm good or not really asking you these deep questions or only talking about whatever the light shit, you know what I'm saying, the easy shit to talk about, you know what I mean? Because now that I've been dude, just because I feel like I've been collaborating a lot more with just like all these other artists and like really having these deep talks, and like when we're in the studio, like the best part of the studio is not making the song. It's like the song is only gonna be good if you have like a really good like hour-long conversation, at least like minimum hour-long before you even start. Yeah. Because like if you just come in there dry, no context, no story, no nothing, like you just end up making something dry too. So it really like it translates in what you end up creating. You know what I mean? So it's important, bro, to have those combos.
I can see that. I mean, you know who Rick Rubin is? Yeah. So he talks about this where it's like, oh, you kind of want to have a feel for the energy in the room. Yeah. You know, and he was saying like once you kind of like talk to people and stuff, you get a feel for what they're aiming at, especially if you're talking about collaboration, right? Yeah. Whether if this person's just in here to get their 5 minutes of fame, or they're in here to collaborate to make the best possible song, right? It's like, what's your motive? And you kind of get a feel for that as you're going through having this conversation and then collaborating and working on this song. Like you probably wouldn't know that about them if you just went into making the song sometimes.
Because like once you start making the song, it's like you're obviously not having no combo. You're busy like trying to punch in. You're sitting there just fucking writing about who knows what the fuck what. You're about to be way more cryptic and try to hide like what the fuck you saying and shit like that. Like, I mean, it's funny you said that, Rick Rubin, because like I literally listened to like that whole audiobook like twice. My other shit, I drive Uber, so like all I do is like I'll be just listening to music, listening to songs. But like recently, bro, I've just been addicted to like audiobooks. I've done fucking finished like 8 audiobooks this year. Yeah. But like that Rick Rubin book was very eye opening for like the mindset you should have when you're going into any type of creative process. It's like it's not about the audience. It's about just like a lot of it is just about pleasing yourself and like making sure that you're gonna feel better after you do this, or you're gonna feel good about this after you're done. And that's the same shit, like how you felt better after having that combo at the gym and you were not feeling good when you got there. Like it's the same thing as in there. It's like, oh, you didn't feel good, but now you just flip that negative into a positive, and now you feel great, and it's off your chest for real, and it's not like some shit you're masking, some shit you're game facing, bro. Yeah.
Especially if you're honest about it and you're genuinely excited. I have a buddy, his name's Andy Nguyen. He's like a serial entrepreneur, but he used to do a bunch of clothing stuff. He ran this streetwear brand called I Am King. He did all these other things. He's just been the know guy.
Is that the Andy? Because I know him through my cousin Tim. Is that the motherfucker who got all the afters? Yeah. I was like, I've heard of him, bro. Yeah.
So he's been in the know for a while, right? Yeah. He's just like one of those guys where he puts something out and it's gonna usually work. Yeah. And I asked him, I was like, oh, like how can you tell when something's gonna work or not? Like, he was like, oh, usually if I really, really like it, and usually I only push things that I like, I get very excited. Then I tell people about it, because how can other people get excited about something I'm building if I'm not excited about it? Like, so he has to feel good about it. I was like, okay, that's true. Because I do notice again, maybe that's just being inauthentic. But when being younger, when you have to push things that you don't really fucking, you're not really quite passionate about, but you try to say with that like voice, like, oh, thank you for calling, like whatever. It's like,
we're conditioned.
Yeah, we're conditioned, to act a certain way, to have like that phone voice go on, And I think now being older, because my regular job, I'm kind of in sales, but I don't really say that I'm in sales. I say that I'm here to kind of educate people. And that approach has really allowed me to be excited about the process, because I don't want to sell people anything.
Yeah.
I just want people to like what I'm telling them, right? Like, and really believe what I'm saying. And once I switched to that process, like, my job has gone a lot better. The way that I think about it and the results. It's not inauthentic anymore.
That's real shit though, because I feel like even when I was younger and I was making music and like you hitting the classic like link in bio, like freaking like listen to my shit, and you're trying to like sell it like it's the best song ever. Like it's not the best song ever, and people aren't buying it because you're trying to fucking sell them. But then once I just started kind of like just being just fucking honest and just like, okay, this is why I made this and this is why I'm excited about it. Like that's when like things started to be like, oh, like
really,
that is like, I do like this, you know what I'm saying? And it's like they only liked it because I like it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's when you realize too that we're all so similar, you know what I'm saying? We all like think the same. So it's like, if you like something, chances are somebody's just like you and they're gonna like it. And then if you try to sell them on something, chances are they're gonna feel like you trying to sell them on something, and you're not. It's not gonna penetrate, bro. It's like the difference between saying, "Oh, I'm not feeling too good today," or "I'm fine." Like like they might not buy it when you say you're fine, but they're not gonna ask you about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, because after a breakup, I can only speak about breakups because I haven't been married before.
Yeah.
But do you feel like your level up right now, if you want to call it a level up, is duly part to the fact that you went through something so harsh as to separate from someone that you were married to?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's due to like, he's single now, he ain't got the ball and chain anymore. It's more of the actual experience itself. The experience of like hurt, the experience of like, grieving, that experience where, that it's not really going to be the same as it was. You're saying like bye-bye to your past life and you're now jumping into something new. I feel like that experience itself is what's helped me grow. You know what I mean? That's like that's why I'm grateful. I mean, I'm grateful for that experience that it was, and I'm also grateful for, you have to be grateful for these tough times, these hard times, man. Because if it was all honky-dory, all like happy all the time, like what the fuck you gonna learn, man? You're never gonna grow. Like, I mean, the only place to grow is like from discomfort. You know what I mean? And that was very uncomfortable for me, but then I found a way to become comfortable with it. And now I can find new things to be uncomfortable with and keep moving forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
I kind of want to ask you, since it seems like it happened quite fast after you guys got married to your separation.
Yes, definitely.
Because we had a friend on, she's a divorce lawyer, and she was mentioning how marriage, one of the benefits of marriage is it actually makes it really hard for you to get out of, right? Because the divorce process is a bitch.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll probably still go stay married for a cool minute, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's expensive, bro. Like I gotta get signed to do that.
Yeah, because with all this going on, in your head, you're like, fuck, I gotta go through this lengthy ass process. It's gotta cost money. It's gotta take time. So before most relationships pull the plug, right? You typically have to think like, is this it?
Yeah.
Or do I keep on going? Because this might not be worth going through all this hassle for, right? So maybe I should stay and keep on trying. At what point did you feel like, okay, well...
See, I feel like for us, though, too, it's like, sure, it's like a mutual separation, but for like, at least for me, too, like, and I don't know if she feels the same way, whatever, but like, for me, like, the door is still open. It's not like I don't think anything's ever over. You know what I'm saying? If you guys grow back into each other, I'm not like pushing it, but like, I don't think... But then that's maybe me not trying to let go too. Like even like I'm trying to like separate the two right now. Like right now, bro, I'm like staying in this apartment that we shared, and like living beyond my means, doing all this different shit. And like I'm moving out in February, but I was like starting to realize it was metaphorical. I'm holding on to something, hoping that like, you know, one day I wake up and then she just, you know, we back to what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like we're still. So at what point do you figure out when it's really over? I have no fucking clue because I'm not even there, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been through the separation. I know I've grown, and I know I've been able to like find myself and find my own peace, which is cool as fuck. But like, yeah, like I don't think if you like really into somebody, like even if you break up, like even you think about like your first girlfriends where you had like this deep soul connection and then something happened, whatever. Like if you were to walk by that person today, you guys still saw each other, locked eyes, you still have that same fucking connection. Like there's certain things that are like hindered in between it, but like it's electricity, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's deeper than that shit. So it's like when do you learn to like choose yourself is more of the question. It's like when do I learn to just be like fully selfish and then be okay with like this shit being like completely separate. I think that's the real reason why people end up being divorced, because it's like it end up taking forever to get divorced. And if you get a quick ass divorce, that means y'all probably wasn't really that connected in the first place, and then that's why you got divorced, because you realize, oh shit, like I don't fucking like this person. You know what I mean? Like, but like I think it's different for everybody, bro. Like, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Because I do also think if it takes a long time, if it takes a really long time, it's probably because you guys end up hating each other, right? Because at this point, you're from the divorces that I've witnessed. At that point, they're usually what happens.
They're fighting.
At first, it's like, oh yeah, it's you know, mutual. It's like, oh, I love her, she loves me. Like it just didn't work out, and then one thing changes, like, oh, actually, I want the bed. You can't keep the bed, you know? And then it's like, oh, you want the bed? Well, I'm take the dog.
It gets petty.
And then it gets petty, right? And then now they're fighting and they're trying to get the most out of each other, right? At this point. And that's when I noticed it gets really ugly. And it extends. Like, dude, it extends
it, but then that's what creates the separation, too. Yeah. That's where, like, okay, like, no, I really don't fuck with this person now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But thank God you guys are, like, chilling. So that's... very different. I feel like most couples don't get that. Yeah, no,
most people are not like that. Like, I mean, like it's, but then still it does. I feel like that process does take forever for so many reasons. I'm talking like financial, emotional, hanging on to the past. You know what I'm saying? Like people like living in the past, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or even my situation, leaving the fucking door open just in case. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because you said this is your first long-term relationship.
My first long-term relationship, bro. Deadass. Yeah, I've been.
Was it easy for you to walk away from the past ones? Like 3 months?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, because I wasn't into it in the first place.
Oh, damn.
It's like my intentions were different. I was just trying to like, I was young as hell. I was trying to fuck, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm being like, if I'm being blunt, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you chase somebody, then you get them, and then you're like, all right, that was cool. And then like, they stick around for a little bit, and they're like, I don't think this is it. Or like, you know, or like that person like feels way heavier for you than you do for them, and it makes you uncomfortable. I feel like that's what's happened to me a lot, because I'm very I feel like even now, but like back then too, like I was very just like, bro, my fucking stage name is Pretty Pape, bro. I'm very into myself. I'll be honest. Yeah. I'm a very self-centered man. Like, you know what I mean? Honest, like, I don't think I'm a narcissist, but I'm just a very self-centered person. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just like, and most my artist friends they're very self-centered. They're very.
You gotta have some kind of confidence.
Yeah,
backing you.
Yeah. They're very, very into yourself. You're very into what you do and what you want. And then it's hard to make space for others, bro. Yeah. That's what it is, man.
So I kind of want to ask you, when that time came, when that separation was happening, what was the feeling that you had? Because for me, I've only had long-term relationships, and that like visceral feeling of like, oh, this does not feel good has always happened to me after every relationship. This is your first, so I'm sure probably the one that you feel most strongly about, right?
So without a doubt.
I'm kind of curious, like what?
So like first, okay, so like it's weird for me. Like we started off like you know having these different problems, trust issues, things, etc. I feel like every I've been told that like so many relationships do this. Like the last band-aid that you try to do is like the open relationship. You're like, maybe we could still be together, but like be with other people too. And then like, you know, we were both trying that out for a little bit. And then like eventually it came to a conversation where it's just like, maybe we should be separated. And then honestly, it didn't really hit me. I just kind of agreed. I was like, I agree, okay. And then like, you know, next thing you know, like we're separated. I'm still sleeping I'm sleeping on the couch now every night. We're sleeping in separate rooms, etc. And like, it didn't really hit until she actually moved out. And then I'm like, cause we would still, you know, we still have like our banter. We'd even like talk about like, oh, like who are you dating or who are you dating? Like, cause we're still friends. Like that's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? But then once I was actually alone, I was like, oh fuck, like I'm really alone, man. And like I'm alone, and like also like when we first broke up, there's like no fucking furniture. I had a true rapper's house, like no fucking furniture in the bitch. We got like one TV, like just fucking like deli meats everywhere. Like just it's a fucking mess, bro.
White beer with all this barbecue sauce on it. You're like,
yeah, bro. Just wearing the same dirty ass shirts, not doing laundry and shit. Like it was bad, bro. But it's like that's when I had to like relearn myself and like learn how to be alone, because I didn't even know, like it's like we've been together so long, I didn't even know how to be alone. And then that's what I kind of realized too. It's like, man, like maybe I was just like really afraid of being alone, because I'm here now and this is fucking terrifying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's why I would just be like, I don't want to even be home. I was like, oh, yo, what are you doing right now? Like, oh, you in session tonight? Okay, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, you starting a group? Oh yeah, I'm gonna join the group. And it's like, oh, like I'm literally just doing anything to just not fucking be alone, you know. And then
just occupy yourself.
Yeah, just occupy my mind. And then all of a sudden, it's like I kind of started feeling this rhythm where I'm like, okay, like this is not like as bad as I thought it would be. Like I started to enjoy being alone too. And then that's once I learned how to enjoy and be okay with just being alone and doing my own thing, like that was cool. Because like I mean really I was like that before we got in a relationship, but then it was such a long relationship that I forgot, bro. I forgot, you know what I mean? So
I don't know if you're like this, but for me personally, after I get out of a long relationship, I go through this like destructive phase where I'm just like, fuck yeah, I'm just gonna live it up, go party, go drink, do whatever. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a very productive person. In the meantime, I'm working, doing everything I need to, but at that point, at the breakup, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna do whatever the hell I want.
Shit for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But there is a certain point where you're like, hey, maybe there's better things to do.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this is not how I want to live my life. Because I always feel like that destruction's made so that you could, build back up again. At least for me. Was it like that for you too?
I think so, man. It's like I mean, I used to work construction, bro, and like you have to do demolition before you can build something new, right? Sure, you know what I mean? Like, so I think, like that was definitely like a demolition phase, man. Like, you got to break down. You have to break yourself. You have to like honestly do all the things that you were thinking about doing when you were like all the shit that you were like, man, it's like, well, I was single, I would do that, and it's like I fucking did all that shit, and then like I was like, okay, like what now? You know what I'm saying? And then that like once you hit that what now, and you're bored of that. Now you're bored of. I mean, some people, God bless them, never get out of that destruction phase because they're hanging out, like they're hanging on to something. But then like once you kind of get out of that phase, you're like, holy shit, like now I got like a clear canvas, and I could paint. I could do whatever I want with this canvas,
Yeah. Was there a turning point, like a certain situation? You're like,
I mean, I don't think there was a singular turning point. I think it was, bro. Shout out my brother, one of my like main producers, Buller, that I got really like cool with, bro. Like, we just had really like long conversations because he's had like hella like relationships problems too, and like I never really had like a male friend that I could talk like that openly with.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like most like my guy friends, like especially like growing up, like we were party friends, bro. We just drink, we do drugs together, we just do, and then we just make some songs, whatever. But like we're not making songs like off of like a good ass conversation. We're making songs just off momentum, off like being lit, off, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to, in our heads like, oh man, this one's gonna hit the club for sure. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, like that's like that's the dynamic in a lot of those like friend groups, especially when you're younger. It's like the connection is not as deep as you. I mean, like we'll have deep combos, and like I still talk to a lot of like my friends from younger too. But then I'll even notice too, like sometimes when I see them too, it's like we speak a different language. You know, and like now it's like I speak a different language almost, and it's like because I'm always trying to like cut deep now. You know what I'm saying? Like because I enjoy dissecting people, dude. I don't know. Like I really like. I mean, I feel like I'm a probing person too. Like even when I be driving Uber, like I be asking how their day, and then like they'll say that, and I'm like, okay, so why? And I'm like, oh. Well, you got problems. Oh my! I should do my podcast in the fucking Uber.
But like, that'd be kind of dope idea.
But it's fucking. It's just interesting, bro. It's interesting because like we're all like humans. We're all the same, bro.
Human dynamics and psychology is like super interesting.
Dog,
that's why I'm hearing
bro.
this. I'm like, you're the first person I've ever heard of getting out of like divorce or separation. It seems like very tame for the most part. You know, I feel like I always witness it really go down the deep end. You know, it's very volatile, and even the recovery is like volatile. You know, even the recovery, like, oh, the divorce is done. This should be it. Time to move on. You know what I mean? Like you've already fucking held on for so long while this is fucking been extended year after year. But even then, I'll still hear like, oh yeah, I heard they're dating this person right there. You know, it's like, wow, dude, you gotta let go. I don't know if you're like me. I'm a person where if I still have feelings for someone else, I can't move on. I'm not saying that's wrong or right. I'm just saying personally I can't do that. Right? I can't be thinking of someone else when I'm dating someone else. You know, it's weird for me personally.
I mean, for me, like I wouldn't say like, oh shit, like, oh, I've completely moved on. I don't think I've completely moved on at all. Like I think because I mean I've tried to like date girls, even like girls that like, oh, like this girl's great, like she checks all the boxes, but I'm just not into it. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like I think it's more of like me seeing like for one it wasn't like a volatile breakup. It's like I honestly we separated because we wanted the best for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like we did like have like that. We did have like a really like healthy connection, healthy love, but you know, just both kind of dropped the ball in certain places, and that was, you know, that's really it. You know, we're human beings, and then you just kind of realize like, okay, like I could still live my life and do like the things I was put here to do, and I could still be sad and do all the shit that I want to do. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't, you know. And then I feel like for me, what got me through it is the support system, though. Like not being judged for, you know, I could say whatever I want around my friends and nobody's judging me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I love that for you, dude.
Yeah,
like not everyone has that. That's
I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, because you know. You keep on. You said the word like lonely a couple times. I don't feel that from you because it sounds like you're being heard. And I think that's usually when people feel lonely is they feel like they're not heard. You know. Yeah.
So I don't think I'm actually truly lonely. No, you're right. Just like that feeling of being alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, no, I think that's what it is. Like I was not really like I was given the right advice, surrounded by the correct people. Throughout the whole process. And I feel like, and you're like when you're saying like people will hang on to these different things, a lot of times it comes from outside influence too, where it's like, oh, can you believe she's dating whatever, and then their friend is like, yeah, that bitch, and then it's like, oh, it's like, yeah, fuck her, and then it's like, and then now it's like egged on, and now it's like it's part of your friend culture to hate that fucking person. And now it's like if my friends were like that, or all like, oh yeah, fuck her, blah blah this that, then maybe I would have been like that too. And then like now I'm holding on to it, not even because I feel that way, because I'm like, I'm trying to be a part of the herd, man. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, and then they're, you know, you hear that shit too.
It's crazy because people are now way more connected than ever, right? You want to find out what this person's been up to, you
can fucking find out, bro.
You can just go on their social media. If they block you, you probably have a friend follow them. You know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy. I hear about couples always asking for updates on each other. Well, not couples, but exes. Asking for updates, and they have friends who follow their ex,
checking
and
on them.
They'll go back and like little minions, like, oh, did you hear what this person did?
Bro,
I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, get on with your fucking life, man. Like, I had a situation where, and this wasn't even my friend trying to be like a snitch or anything like that, but he knew my ex, and he was just like, oh, you know, is she getting married? I think that's what he said. And this was like, we were together for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, oh, I saw a picture of an engagement ring on her, social media. And it was the first I had heard anything about her in a while. I just kind of like checked out and didn't just move on in my life,
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard that, I was like, I felt this weird feeling in my gut, like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Is it true? And I knew at that point, if I had opened up my Instagram and like checked the profile, that I'm not truly over it. And what good is it going to do for me?
Make you way more
like,
sad.
let's say it's true. I would feel bad.
Yeah.
Great. You know what I mean? I just put myself in a shitty mood. If I don't check and I don't know, what does it do? You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, it just makes me feel like, oh, yeah, I have no idea. I might not feel great about the idea that it's possible, but
it's better than knowing the details.
Better than knowing the details. Because even if it's not true, right? She's not engaged. Like, what does that do for me? It doesn't do anything. It's literally just messing with my mind the way I feel, just having those thoughts. So I literally had my Instagram open, and I just closed it.
Yeah. Good for you, bro.
Look at it.
Good for you, because like because like shit like that will put you right back in the past. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Sure,
like,
for sure.
We live on a plane of time and space, man, and it's like we could close our eyes and see these different times, and we could live in that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like that would cause you to live in it and be like, you'd be living in the time where you guys were together, and then she's getting married to someone else while you guys are together, even though you're not fucking together, bro. It's not, it's over. You know what I mean? It's like, so I mean, it's interesting though. I feel like I heard like I don't know if you heard this like phrase too, where it's like depression is like a form of living in the past, and anxiety is like a form of living in the future.
Oh wow!
No,
I haven't. That's
I feel like for me, I suffer from like hella anxiety. I'm always like tapping my fingers. I'm always fucking thinking. That's why I got into meditating and shit like that too.
Yeah.
But like I feel like I mean, that was probably the first time I experienced like true like depression. Depression was this, past like, and it wasn't even like super long, and I still get little fits of it here and there, but like I feel like my anxiety overpowers it, which is like it's not like the best thing, but it's like at least means I'm looking to the future rather than like to the past. It's like I'd rather be anxious as fuck about my future than like,
True.
than depressed about my past, because like I feel like if you're neither, I don't know, if you're not anxious and you're not depressed, I mean, you are completely present, but then it's like, I don't know, like, is there growth in that? Do you find yourself, because you're like a busybody, do you get like anxious? Or do you
you know what? I actually, I think in the past 2 years was the first time I had like anxiety attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't prior at all. I wasn't anxious. And I do notice that it came from a couple of things. There was one, me being unsure of the future, and two, me worrying about things that are out of my control, right? And then I think three, if there was a third one, it would be from my lack of confidence in myself. So prior to the past 2 years, I never felt like I couldn't figure anything out. Like, I was the guy where it's like, give me more problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Problem solver.
Yeah. I'm also a problem starter, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit both, right?
Yeah. You started to solve it.
Yeah. Like, I'm one of those people where, like, I'm just like, I chill. Don't worry. I got this, you know? Like, in the most shitty situations, I'll be like, don't worry, I got this. And everyone's freaking the fuck out. And I figure it out. And then people are like, what the fuck, you know? And this is the past 2 years was the first time where I felt like, oh, damn, I don't know if I got this. And I really had to address a lot of things myself. And, I kind of wanted to talk to you about that, which is, what was your approach to getting better? Mine was understanding that I had a lot of problems. And if I look at the bigger picture, I'd be overwhelmed. And that's when I would be anxious, because I'm like, what solutions should I take to handle all these problems all at once? And when I became a little bit more like, narrow-sighted and focused on like one problem at a time, then it didn't seem so hard to kind of take care of it. That was my solution to handling my anxiety. Yeah. Right. And it always came with like figuring out one thing at a time.
I mean, I think for me, bro, it was, so like the first book that I read like out of this shit was this book called Atomic Habits.
Oh yeah.
I was just trying to build like a better like routines, because I realized like my routines were very inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? And it was something I like didn't even like it's funny because it's like even just like working out or like eating healthy, like I didn't identify with that. I would be like, I was like, oh, that's not me, bro. Like I'm not the workout guy. I'm not like the fucking. I'm not about to like eat fucking, you know, this. I was like, I want to eat a burger. I don't like
no
but
chicken
it's like,
and broccoli.
It was part of my fucking identity though. You know what I'm saying? And it's like once I realized that it's like, no, your identity is whatever the fuck you make it. Like that's when it's like that was kind of an eye opener for me. And then reading that Atomic Habits was just like it made things really like problems really small. Like it's like you're in math class, but like you're solving like the basic problems first. You're doing the basic stuff, and then after that, you're kind of like progressing towards shit that's a little bit harder for you. But like for me, just building a routine is really what got me through it because it's like it made me like disciplined on myself. It's like, and then I got to a point where it's like if I didn't fill out that routine, I'm fucking like. I'm anxious all of a sudden. I'm really fucking anxious, dude. Like, so it's
back
like
to square one.
Yeah, it's back to square one. So I was like, I have to keep doing this routine. And I feel like in that routine made me feel accomplished. It made me feel better about my day. It made me feel like, oh, I did something today. And then that is what kind of like fought like that depressive type feeling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like instead of feeling sad that, you know, something is not going to work out, I'm like looking forward. I'm like, oh, well, this is like working out kind of. This is kind of working out kind of. And it's like, it's like those victories in private, bro. Like those little private wins that it's just between you and you.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's the best fucking feeling. And it's, you know what I mean? Like even just me just like making a fucking fire like dinner for myself. Like that was just like, I was like, oh, this is great. And I'm all, you know what I mean? Like that's what made me appreciate being alone is like those little private victories. And then you're like, okay, like you get the confidence. Like I could do this, man. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. Yeah. The homie that I was talking to at the gym, I was talking to him about the same thing. I noticed, at least for me, when I would feel really depressed, not so much lately, but it comes in waves, right?
It does.
And usually when you feel really depressed, the depression part lasts longer than the I feel good part.
Yeah.
Right? So I always see it as like a window of opportunity, right? Like you start to feel a little bit normal and not quite as depressed. And you could do whatever you want, right? Yeah. But in that time, you should be doing things that progresses you along and it makes you feel more confident. So that's why it's good to have those routines in place. Because after you do it, after a while, it becomes like a habit, right? It's like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to make this win by going to the gym today.
Now it's your identity.
Yeah, and then even if you don't feel that great, it's like, oh, you went and you got it done, right? And then that window starts to open up a little bit more, and then you can add things onto that. Like, okay, I went to the gym today. Next, I'm going to, go meet up with a friend and, like, figure out, like, what song we should work out on next or what event we should produce. Yeah. Right? And you make that a habit. And then the window of opportunity grows and grows and grows to where it's like, oh, the waves, the smallest waves are actually the depressive ones after a while. Yes. But if you don't get into that routine and you allow it to kind of cloud your judgment and get you back to like square one, like we were talking about, I feel like it's the reasons a lot of people don't know how. I feel like now, especially with you saying that, you read and you learned a lot of things, there is a lot of research on like what you could do if you feel like that. Yeah. Back then, what the hell would you do? You go to a doctor, diagnose you, give you a couple of pills.
Yeah, you give you some pills, then you go to the bar and you get some bad advice, and you fucking go act on that advice, and what the fuck? You know
exactly.
What I mean? Yeah,
exactly.
Dog. So we do have the tools these days, which is like, I mean, I think that's the most powerful shit, though. It's like we have the ability to like study ourselves and like really like break down like the science of us. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's kind of what I did this year, and I feel like honestly over the past 6 months I've probably grown more than I had over like 5 years, bro. Like I don't know, like just personally that's just how I feel. Like maybe I might be exaggerating a little bit, but like that's how I feel. I just feel like I'm like, okay, like the fact that I know that like when I'm not feeling well I can still do the things I have to do. B, if I'm sad or something like that, I could still like create. I could still like be the person I am. Like I could had like a better sense of like self acceptance like through these like little, just developing these little routines that are and it's like it's really not super time consuming. It's just like it's mental, bro.
What were the steps that you took to change, your actual steps, like from the moment you realize like, damn, I gotta make a change?
I feel like I'm still taking those steps. I feel like those steps don't end ever, but like the steps that I took was for sure like my favorite one was low-key was reading, bro. Like, just like I didn't realize how much I like that shit. Like, I feel like because like in we're in school and shit like that, and like somebody like tells you to read something, and you have to read something.
Yeah.
But it's like when it's like your choice to, there's like it's like a complete different like dynamic. I would say it definitely started with reading, and then it started with like working out. Because I mean, before when I was in high school, like I played sports and shit like that, and then for a long time I really kind of neglected my health. The gym and working out, it's the only place where like life is fair. Like you get back exactly what you put in. You know what I'm saying? And you feel stronger. It gives you more energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I think those first two like steps was just like maintaining body health, mental health, just by like regrowing my brain, kind of reprogramming certain shit. Like that was, and then like what I said before, like the private victories. Like once I was just having like little happy moments and I'm like all alone, I was like, oh, like this is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like that was definitely the jump start to it. And then now it's like, now I'm like starting to, it's funny because like now I feel like I'm starting to add things onto my plate. And like yesterday I was telling you, like at the rehearsal thing, I was feeling like really anxious and kind of like almost like fucking like on edge. And like if somebody, I didn't snap at anybody, but I felt like if somebody like tried to like get at me, I would have fucking snapped. You know what I'm saying? Like the Filipino anger would have came back. And I was like, damn, like what? Why am I like fabricating like blessings into problems? You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a bunch of people there like to like support me, and like they're there like for me to like help me. And then I'm like why am like I got home and I was like just like why was I like annoyed at these people? Like these people are all here for me, and it's like I also asked for this. So it's like, why do I get annoyed or I get like uncomfortable with the things I asked for once I receive them? You know what I mean? Is that, I don't know. Maybe that's something you could expound upon, because like I'm still trying to figure out like why. I'm like, why am I all of a sudden, we fabricate new problems when the shit goes away.
So, I'll expand on what I think, because I don't, this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
But I'm very similar, except for the fact that I don't get annoyed when people show up for what I asked for.
Yeah.
I am very self-destructive. So I'll do something to make it not go my way, And I think my own personal opinion, my situation is that I don't believe I deserve it, almost. Like, I might be confident, but I'm not sure if I quite deserve the blessings that are coming my way. So I'm doing things to say, like, well, I'm not even going to give my chance to get to be successful, because then there's no way I could fail, because maybe it wasn't even meant to be for me. And that's my own personal opinion, my situation, because I have seen it, and I hate comparing, but like I've seen a lot of people in my industry and industries that I belong to, and people doing things that I've done, and they succeed, and I just feel like what's keeping me back, a lot of it is me. And it's because I'm scared of not being able to stack up. I'm scared of like feeling that this wasn't purely because of me, and therefore I don't deserve it.
And I mean, I really relate to that, bro. Like you start getting these like things you ask for, and it's like, oh, like I'm not really like worthy of that.
Yeah.
And then I also relate to like, oh, it's not purely off your own strength, because like I mean, I feel like even like in our culture, it's so like it's so praised to be, oh, like he's independent, oh he did it all by himself out the mud, when like that is never the fucking case, bro. Like it's like you always need like people, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's a lot of time that's our ego talking, telling us we don't deserve it because like, oh, this person did it for us, or this person did it for us. And it's like, or it's our shadow saying, oh, you wouldn't be shit without this person, or you wouldn't be nothing without this person. And it's like, fucking right, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, of course, it's like you kind of need that. And it's like, you do need like people to see that you're worthy before like you can look in the mirror and be like, I am worthy. You know what I mean? Like I'm still going through that right now, and I feel like that's also I mean, dude, I've been making music for like 10 years, and I feel like year 10 has been like the most productive one. And it's like, I was talking to a buddy, and it's like, he's like, the work is never like, the hard work is never here. Like what we're doing right now, this is like the fun part, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like the hard part is like in here, like that inner work. And it's like, once you kind of figure that out, now you're going to be able to elevate to who you always wanted to be, or who you always knew you could be. You know what I'm saying? It's like the process doesn't take so long, because like all these things that we have to do take forever. It's like, it's all the things we got to do in here that take forever. And it's like the only way we can do those things is through these experiences. And most of the time it's bad experiences. Like you have to go through some fucked up shit to be like that person that is like deserving, or like feels like, yeah, I do deserve this all of a sudden. And then like, I mean, I remember being younger too, and like wondering how some people would always just be like, because I feel like in our culture, in Asian culture too, it's like, it's always so like such a esteemed thing to be humble. It's like, oh, he's so humble. Like, oh, he's so grounded. It's like, and it's like, but then it's like being like that humble, it's the opposite of being like confident. And it's the opposite of being like, you know, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance too. Arrogance is just like, is a lack of confidence. It's still, from arrogance there's a lack of confidence in there. And that's why you're overcompensating. Yeah. But like a straight like confidence, it comes from like, you know, you're humble, but like, you know what you deserve. And like, I feel like for us, it's like sometimes it's frowned upon for us to like know what we deserve and take that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, we're also, you know, we're people that are, you know, obviously very, it's in our culture to be humble, but then also like, even like in American culture, we're not really seen until like now, which is lit. Like there's hella like dope Asian movies, things like that, but we're not seen as the main character ever, bro.
True.
We're always like, even like media, like we're portrayed as like side character, or like and it's like we're okay with that. Yeah. But like, I think we're in like a new awakening where it's like, we do deserve, like you do deserve like you work hard, bro. You're fucking, and bro, this is like one of the deepest conversations I've ever had on a podcast. Like you do deserve everything that you want. It's just once you realize that you deserve it, that's when you get it. You know. And I feel like I'm going through that too. Like I'm trying to still figure out like, am I worthy? And maybe that's why I was feeling so anxious the other day, because I'm like, there's all these people that are here for me, like supporting me, wanting things out of me, and I'm like, why? I was like, why are you guys like depending on me? Like, bro, like I'm not gonna, like, you know. And it's like in the shadow in the back of my head is like, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna be shit. Like, why are you guys fucking, you know, like, why are you guys betting on me? You know what I mean? But then it's like, I kind of have to look in the mirror, like, you know, they're betting on you because they believe in you. You know what I'm saying? And they see something in you. It's like, and then why are we always like the last person to see what's great about us? You know what I mean? Other people can see it from the outside all the time, but like, it's always so hard to be the person that sees it in yourself. That's what takes the longest every time, bro, in my opinion.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that resonated with me a lot, actually. Yeah. It's something I kind of talked about before when, you know, we're in Asian culture, we're taught to be humble, right? Therefore, not to be braggadocious, not to be out there and just like grab everything and be like, we deserve this.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think about the years, especially my younger years, where it's like, there are times where you almost feel ashamed for believing in yourself, if that makes sense. And I remember this, maybe this is a dumb, like, childish thing that I'm thinking of, but, like, one of my exes, because I never really talk about my looks or anything like that. I'm not like, oh, yeah, fucking Pretty Pete. You know what I mean? Like, nothing like that. But I remember, I forgot what it was. Either I got a haircut or some shit, and I was just, like, looking at myself and feeling like, oh, damn, I feel kind of good about myself. Like, this haircut's kind of fresh. Yeah. And then she looked at me and she was like, oh, you're checking yourself out. You're conceited. And then I just felt like a lot of shame because I felt like part of it was like, I don't know if it's true, like I'm conceited, but like I felt like proud of myself for a second. And I felt ashamed to feel that. Yeah. You know, and ever since then, that way. She made you feel like ashamed for being proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Even though I was never a person to even like talk about my looks, or it's not because I just don't give a shit, right? But ever since then, when I would get other kind of compliments, like, oh, you're doing a good job with the podcast, or you're killing it in March, whatever it was, like my, I guess, Asian humble side comes out and say, oh yeah, I'm doing all right. You know what I mean? Like, it's not bad.
Yeah, that's I feel the same way when people are like, oh, I love that song, blah blah. I'm like, it's all right. Like, it's not like it's okay. Like, we can't fucking take a goddamn compliment, bro. We really can't. Like, it's. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how it is in older cultures. Like, I feel like this is probably not just like an Asian culture thing, but like, but we really like. It's hard if you don't feel like you're worthy. It's so hard to take a compliment. Like, I remember getting compliments, and then instead of like being like, "Oh, thank you so much," I'd be like, "Well, you're like, oh, you're fucking like." I said, I'll just gas them up and just divert because I don't want to fucking accept the goddamn compliment. And then now I'm like, anytime I compliment somebody and somebody does that, I'm like, "No, bro, accept the fucking compliment right now, like, or else I'm gonna fucking smack you in the face."
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you come to terms with that, because I'm still trying to do that, because I feel like my next level up is right there. Mm-hmm. It's that extra confidence from taking a compliment that's gonna get me to where I need to be, where I'm like, no, you're right, yeah, I did do a good job, thank you, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like, it
turns into your belief.
It turns into my belief.
When you accept the compliment, it turns into your belief.
Yeah,
when you don't accept it, now it's your identity of the, like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah, it's just their perception of you versus actually being you.
Yes, man. So it's like, sometimes we just gotta, that's what this year has taught me. It's like, sometimes you just gotta listen to your friends, because like people can see, like, for me looking at you, like, I see somebody with a fucking so much depth to them. You know what I'm saying? And like sometimes we can't see it in ourselves. We don't have fucking mirrors all the time. And I mean, even like, it's funny, even like my stage name. So like Pretty Papes, it comes from like when I was younger. I mean, like, I had a hard time like remember when we were talking about earlier, like initiating, like being the person who chases. Usually I get chose or something like that, somebody trying to talk to me or something like that. But like, I was very like self-esteem issues, didn't want to talk. I was a popular guy, but I was only popular because I was a fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like popular for the wrong reasons, popular for, like, I build myself up by putting others down, you know what I'm saying? Like, roast somebody or some shit like that. But like, it was an alter ego of mine to make myself like confident. It's like, oh, I don't want to be Mike, I'd rather be Pretty Papes, because he's like best looking rapper on earth. He's like got all, you know what I'm saying? He's super, secure with himself, this, that. And it's like, it was the complete it was like the person I wanted to be. It was not who I was. But now, like, I feel like I'm kind of starting to like find a way to like merge those two worlds.
Like, Pretty Papes was the persona that was compensating for what Mike lacked.
Yes.
And now you guys are trying to be one and the same.
We're trying to be like one, trying to just be one guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, beautiful Beyonce quote too, bro. Like, this is, I'm about to quote the Queen Bee, bro. The way you perceive yourself is how the world perceives you, though. You know what I'm saying? That's how they will perceive you, and like, that's why maybe if you don't feel like you're deserving, maybe some outside forces may not have the confidence in you, and it has nothing to do with your skill, it has nothing to do with your depth, it has nothing to do with your knowledge. It just has to do with like, oh, like, he doesn't really have like that fire in him, or that confidence in him, or I can't put money on this guy, he can't even put money on himself, you know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, I've been saying that to like a lot of like my artist homies too. Like, we've been doing this actually, bro, like, outside of this, we should do this exercise together, bro. We're doing this shit called two-word branding. Two-word branding. All it's right. Like, so it's like, it was brought to me by my brother David from All Films, and like, it was probably like a few months back that he did it. Or maybe not even a few months, like, dude, like probably like 2 months ago, and this shit like fucking blew my goddamn mind. So two-word branding, you find these like different two-word phrases that you're either insecure about or you think that people think about you. You know what I'm saying? Like my shit was like, my 2 words were like something like cringe creator, too old. I could pull out the fucking note right now. It's like he's too old. He's a cringe creator. He doesn't take accountability. He's like an accountability diverter. And then the one that stuck out to me was like try hard. Because like, I felt like in social situations, I would just either try to make people laugh, or I'm on stage and I'm like doing the fucking most. I'm fucking jumping around, all this shit. I'm like trying so hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like because of that like lack of self-esteem, that lack of confidence, the lack that I don't think I'm worthy, so I have to try extra hard.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And but then after you do that, see, now I really want to do this exercise with you. You do that and then you flip it. It's like a try hard is like somebody who lacks confidence, but then we put the word in front of it, confident. So it's like a confident try hard. It's like, so now it's like you try hard because you believe that it's gonna go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You believe that there's a purpose behind it. And yeah, but like that, bro, that exercise took me like motherfucking like 4 hours. I was trying to figure out like what I hated about myself, and it's so hard to like identify your shadow, bro. And it's
sounds
like,
difficult.
Yeah, but like once you do though, because all those things are like in your conscious, they're in your subconscious.
Yeah.
That you believe about yourself. But then once you like pull them out, you write them down. Now they're like in front of your mind, and now you're aware of them. And then anytime it kicks in, like any of those insecurities kick in about you, you're just like, no, I'm not. And then that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, no, I'm not. I'm overthinking it. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
So it's like, it is a lot about just like identifying these things that you're not. I mean, that's probably what's helped me the most, especially over the past 3 months, is just like identifying all the shit that I hate about myself and realizing it's not fucking true. Like none of it is really true, because if we can change every day, we could be a different person every single day. Like you can, even the same shit with the identity thing where you're like, oh, I'm not a creative person, or oh, I'm not a hard worker or whatever. Like you can change that. Like you can alter anything you want, man. I treat life as like a motherfucking video game, bro. Like you just get enough XP points, bro. You go be fine, bro. True. You know. But yeah, man. I don't even remember where I was going with that. But I do want to outside of this. I do want to do that. I do want to do that with you, bro.
No, thank you for sharing that. I actually thought that was really awesome, because you're basically rewiring your insecurities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that. I don't think it's as simple as like just reaffirming yourself. You know what I mean?
It's not.
I do think that there has to be more than just saying words, but
For sure.
just like you were saying, pulling things out of your subconscious. And that's one thing that I'm really bad doing, is taking the time to think about these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think living in a day and age where you just could constantly be busy, you don't allow yourself to really even dig that deep.
Yeah.
Especially for something like what I don't like about myself. You know what I mean?
Like, let me write down all the shit that I hate about myself.
4 hours figuring out why I hate myself.
Yeah. That is the fault of the busybody, man.
Yeah.
We end up not addressing certain things.
Yeah.
Like we're busy because we're like dodging these
Yeah.
things. And I feel like I wouldn't say like that fucking. I'm still going through that exercise right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, but I feel like it was really helpful to pull the things that were back here and put them up here.
Agreed.
And be like, okay,
100%.
like now that I know that, what am I going to do about it? Am I just going to let it am I going to let it eat me, or am I going to eat it? You know?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
At least you're aware of it to even address it in the first place.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, right? I mean, I think if there's anything that is very detrimental to a lot of people, is the inability to be self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that does come from taking time to really look in, right? Mm-hmm. And you're right. Like it's funny because I only look at my glaring issues.
Yeah.
Like this is a big flaw, so obviously, you know what I mean? But to look at the little things that might be like the building blocks to the reason why I am the way I am, or the things that I view as like big flaws. Yeah. It's probably, it's just like taking the smaller problems and like tackling them first, you know?
Mm-hmm. It is kind of like that. It's like there's just doing the little stuff first, and then eventually you're able, like that window you're talking about. You open up that window, and now you're like, you can let more shit in. You can let more shit in. Now your cup is filled, and you can pour it into other people. And now you're like, it makes you somebody who's more able to serve others too. You know,
probably a big reason why you're the way you are right now, because you feel like you're able to serve. Like you're not that person where it's like I'm just being straight destructive, right? Yeah, you've started building yourself up, and now you're here, and you can build up people around you, right? Mm-hmm. And that's how I always want to be. Is like I always want to be a contributor to people's lives. Mm-hmm. Like I want to make your life better. Yes. Like if you watch me, listen to me, or am friends with me, we have conversations. Like I hope that it contributes to your life. And I think that's the way I always see things. Is like I'm not here to take. You know what I mean? I'm here to give, and in a way, indirectly take, because helping other people makes me feel good about myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, it's not completely fucking selfless. You know what I mean?
It's the
like it's a nice
it's
fucking
a
feeling.
Good fucking feeling,
Yeah.
bro. It's a good fucking feeling to be like, you know, like, or it's a good fucking feeling to even just like have a conversation with someone, and then you circle back like 3 months later, it's like, and they're just like, I remember that shit you told me, and I'm like, oh my god, for real, you remember that? That was that important to you? And then it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
bro,
that is such a cool. That's probably like the coolest feeling ever, bro.
It's the best, dude.
Yeah.
Like I think I've had shout out to my friend Randy who does watch this podcast, so he'll
What's up,
hear
Randy?
this. But you know, like he told me, he was like, yo, you know, like some stuff that I've talked to you about, like you've changed my life on the way I see things, you know, and not even just like him, like a couple other friends too, and I'm just shocked about how I kind of took away all that meaning or power from my voice and what I'm able to give to people.
Yeah.
But the way they perceive it is like so powerful, where I'm like, oh shit, like maybe I shouldn't downplay this as much as I think, you know?
Yeah, you shouldn't, bro. You
Yeah.
shouldn't. I think next year is the season of just upplaying it. You upplaying
man,
it.
I'm gonna try.
And then you get arrogant, and then you gotta destroy it again. You gotta start all over again. Yeah,
exactly. You know, gotta check yourself.
Yeah,
sometimes.
bro. Because I feel like even just going through like that bad shit, that's the only reason why I looked inward. You know?
Yeah.
Like that's those destructive times that you're talking about. Like that's the only reason. Once the rubble is settled, like that's the only time we're like, we look inward. Like, why the fuck did I just do that? Yeah, why the fuck did I just do that? You know?
Yeah.
That's when you ask the why.
Yeah.
It's a powerful thing, bro. It really is.
Thank you for that, dude.
Bro, of course, man. Of course, man.
No, that was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you for sharing. No,
Bro, of course.
that was some insight, bro.
Man.
Welcome back to the lightning round, guys, where we ask our guests rapid fire questions, and if they don't answer, they have to drink.
Oh, I'm fucking nervous. I hate water.
Yeah, he's sober, so we're gonna accommodate him. We're not here trying to press bad habits.
I appreciate
right?
y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Of course.
Thank you.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
What is one thing that you changed about this year?
My habits, for sure. I mean, we talked about it earlier. I
Yeah.
would just say, before, I feel like I didn't even have habits. I would just be kind of floating around, doing whatever I felt, whatever I was like, oh, this feels good at this time, and I just do that. Like, I've definitely changed my routine, and that's something I'm proud of this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's one thing that young Mike had in his personality that you no longer had that you wish you did? All right.
Has he really changed?
Yeah.
Oh no, man.
Young Mike's looking.
That was
He's
one of
looking.
those shadow ones.
Oh yeah, you still got to answer the question, by the way.
Okay.
But now you can take your time.
Hammered, bro. I would say one thing that young Mike, I would say patience. I feel like when I was younger, I was very impatient. I was very impulsive. Now I kind of understand why things take as long as they do. You know, and it is an inner thing. It's like how long it takes you to learn something. Everybody's timing is different too. Somebody can learn something faster about themselves than you. And then I kind of also learned how to stop like comparing myself to other shit. Like I feel like when I was younger, I would always just compare, like, especially like as like an artist or like a rapper. You're like, you know, even when I was like 25, I was like, bro, if I ain't got it by 30, I swear to God. And then you see someone who blows up and they're like 14. You're like, oh, what the fuck, man? And then it's like, and then you play in that comparison game where you're like, you're an artist and you're looking at like, just say like you're Spotify Wrapped, and then you scrolling down your thing, you see somebody else's Spotify Wrapped. You're like, damn, are they really that much better than me? They got nothing, but it's like has nothing to do with them being better than you. It just has to do with you being the better you, and that's when, you know what I'm saying. Like, for sure, patience and comparison type traits. Like, I don't think they're completely absolved. Yeah. But like, it's something that I feel like I'm proud that I've gotten better at, for sure.
Gotcha.
It's been a good year.
All right, my bad. I actually let you answer a question that was the question. Oh, yeah. Because the question was, what did young Mike have that you no longer have that you wish you did? So it's something that from your youth that something has changed. I want to hear your answer for that one too. Cool.
So what did... Sorry, say it again.
What did young Mike have in his personality that you no longer have that you wish you still did? You gotta drink to that too. You gotta drink to both sides.
On the cleanse, I'll be hammered, bro.
Trust me, we have gotten people drunk off of this game before.
Yeah. Because those are really deep questions for someone to just be like, well,
yeah. That's why it's supposed to get you started, and then you can figure out.
Yeah, but then you're drunk. You're like, okay, I figure.
It gets harder.
What did young Mike have back in the day that he doesn't have anymore that he still wishes he held on to? I mean, it's probably the opposite question of that. Like, I mean, like, with being less impulsive and things like that and taking my time, sometimes maybe I think I miss out on certain experiences, but maybe that's just me having motherfucking FOMO. But like, yeah, like maybe sometimes it takes me too long to act on things now as well. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have that like patience and you're kind of well thinking things out, like, bro, like say like the other day I told you I drive Uber and like there's this like picked up this like cute ass girl and like and I was like, you know, I don't want to creep like this ain't shit. I don't want to creep nobody out, but like, you know, she was fire and like I just wanted to just say like how you doing. But like old me would have just been like started a combo just off like impulse or some shit like that. But then like new me, I was just like, is she gonna like feel weird? I was like, I'm driving Uber, that, and then you know I dropped her off and said nothing, and I was just like, fuck, could have fucking said something, you know what I'm saying? But I mean like, also young me though too would have only acted on that impulsiveness off like liquid courage, you know what I'm saying? Fair. Like it's not like sober me would have been like as high self-esteem like oh yeah, but like just little shit like that. I feel like now with the patience comes overthinking. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Giving it too much time to breathe.
Giving it too much time to breathe, because sometimes the shit ain't got time to breathe.
It's true.
So I'm trying to learn the balance, man.
Yeah. All right, next question. What is your definition of success?
Impact. Impact and legacy. And I feel like, I don't know if that's a very egotistical answer, because like I was listening to this audiobook, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And the last chapter is all about like your immortality plan, like what's gonna make you live on forever. Because for me, like success to me doesn't look like money. Success to me doesn't look like accolades, different things like that. It's like, for me, it's, I mean, maybe it does look like accolades, but it's like, it's impact. It's like we were talking about, like through conversations and love, like to the people that you love, like what's the lasting impression that you gave on them? And like, cause you know, like they're going to have kids or they're going to have people they talk to, and maybe they leave that impression upon somebody else after, and so on and so forth. It's like, to me, it's, impact and legacy. I would like my funeral to be like the lit as fuck. I would like nobody to be sad. There's like Henny on the casket, like, you know, strippers twerking on top of my shit. Like, bro, like I want my fucking, I would love my funeral to be lit as fuck, and I would love for nobody to be sad. I would love
definitely invite me to your funeral.
Yeah, sure. I'll shoot you one when I'm on the deathbed and be like, I'm on Party Full, like
sending out invites,
sending the app, or I'm have my AI do it through my fucking contact lens or something. But it's for sure impact and legacy just on like my community, my society, and the people that I hold dear. Like I just want to be remembered. And I don't know if that's an egotistical thing, but yeah, we don't want to be forgotten. I feel like that's all of our biggest fear. It's like, you died, nobody fucking cares. And I mean, the world goes on. Life goes on either way. Like, they're not gonna marinate on you for forever. Yeah. But like, I would like to be somebody if I were to pass away. Like, if I drove out of here right now, and fucking, I don't want to manifest this, but, you know, got in a car accident, people would say, man, he was such a great, like, he was a good guy, or man, like, he helped me out with this, or man, he helped me out with that, or he helped me see a certain way. Like, that is how I'd like to be. That's the one thing that I want. That is success. I feel like that. I mean, that's why you see these billionaires, and like the billionaires that are really remembered, that don't die alone, are the ones that like are deepest delving into like philanthropy. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think they got a fucking Carnegie Hall? Why do you think they got like you know, like just all these different, why do you think these people that get at these high levels, if there's somebody, they donate so much because they're chasing immortality, man. They don't want to be forgotten, bro. They don't want
that and taxes, but yeah.
Yeah, that and taxes too. Too. But like, it's legacy, bro. Like it's legacy, it's impact, man. I think that's success for me, is impact.
Next question is going to be,
what's huh? You made me cry on this one.
I don't think so. Do it.
No, just kidding.
I mean, I don't know, like how far you want to go with this.
Yeah,
like,
I don't care. Yeah,
you don't care.
I really don't.
What's the thing that you miss most about being married?
Damn. Way to get me.
I asked you. You said you don't care.
Oh man, fuck. The thing I miss most about being married is it's like, you know, just having someone in your corner when you're feeling down. Like I've noticed, I mean, I still have people in my corner, but they're not like complete, like right there access to me right at the moment. Because that is one thing I'll give her a lot of credit for. She was always somebody who consoled any way I was feeling. I don't think that I did as good of a job as she did as far as like being someone to confide in and console in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, just you know that feeling. You just waking up next to somebody and it's just like they care about you. You know, it's like having that security that somebody cares whether you live or die or whether whatever's going on with you. And that's as far as I'm gonna go. Cause you got me tearing now. You got me, you guys.
My bad.
That was good. That was fucking good. Oh man,
so you always ask for consent before you ask the fucking hard questions.
Bro, that's good, bro. That's gonna be the social media clip. I'll tag her in it.
Thank you for asking. No, you did a great job, dude.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
I just want to say thank you, Mike, for showing up and sharing like some very vulnerable parts of your life, man. I'm glad that you're getting out of it, and thank you for that game too, man. I think I'm definitely gonna do that outside of this. You got to remind me.
I'm gonna give you a fucking call. I'm literally gonna give you a call like this week.
Please. You know, if you got to remind me multiple days, dude, I'd love to do it for sure. I think it will help a lot of people out there too. For anyone who's going through it, a couple of insecurities, practice and update us how you guys feel. Yes. But aside from that, you know, let the audience know where they can find you.
Appreciate y'all for having me. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Pretty Papes, PrettyPapes. If this got you interested in my music, not to plug it in, but I'm gonna plug it in. Spotify, PrettyPape $. And follow your boy. Even DM me. I'm pretty interactive in my DMs because I found out the cheat code of answering DMs fast. I just do a voice message instead. I don't type things out anymore. I don't type things. Yeah, I don't type things out anymore, man. It's too time consuming. It's too much thought. So I just say things. But yeah, get at me.
And thank you guys for tuning in, watching the whole way through. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment below what you guys want us to talk about next. And remember, live fast, eat ass.
Romsky. Let's go.